Race 2 of the Super Metroid multi-category tournament matchup between Eddie and phatscott. The first race went to Eddie. It was his choice for any percent. And for the second race, we've got GT Classic. I'm once again joined by Pirate253.
Hey, Idle, welcome back. Happy to be here. And yeah, let's get ready for some 35 minutes of Super Metroid awesomeness.
Yeah, this is the fastest category of the tournament. It's a just a race to GT's room as fast as you can because developers decided to leave in some debugging code that if you're holding A, B, X, Y, and nothing else as you enter GT's room, you are rewarded with a whole bunch of items, all the majors, E-tanks, missiles,
All the
anything
things.
you want. And that obviously allows you to beat the game fairly quickly from that point.
Now, I do understand for the tournament purposes, you do have to collect Vanilla Speed Booster by some point that I can't remember. I think before Wreck Ship.
That's the GT Max one.
Say that again?
That's if you're doing GT Max.
Oh, okay, those don't apply to this category. That's just GT Max.
Yep. So in GT Max, you're not allowed. So because the game just gives you all this stuff, you can end up with over 100% of the items because it gives you like 7 E-tanks. Well, technically, it gives you 6 E-tanks plus 1 HP gives you 700 health, not 799 health. But because it gives you all these E-tanks and missiles, so it gives you 100 missiles. But you may have only collected a few missile packs before you get to GT's room. Well, that means that if you collect all the rest of the missile packs, you can get over 100%. You can get as high as 135% without like crazy shenanigans to go any higher than that. But in order to get 135%, you can only get like one of each minor, and you're kind of limited. And they put in, because there's some kind of crazy routes in Max, they put in these rules where you got to get speed booster, you got to get gravity, just to keep the races from being showcases of people sitting there doing this ridiculously stupid lava dive jump over and over until somebody gets it. That wasn't the kind of race the organizers wanted to see. So
gotcha. So just to normalize, keep it a bit more balanced. Eddie with a 38 series on that one. Gotta love the steams in elevator room.
Yep. But because the runners are not restricted in regular GT Classic, so one of the restrictions, the main one that causes all the problems, is you can't get any tanks. And that makes Lava Dive really hard. But without that restriction, runners will be getting their Terminator tank, they'll be getting their high jump tank most likely if they get high jump boots. They could also go for the Kraid tank if they want to skip high jump boots. There are a handful of runners who will get all 3 of those tanks just to make it even easier. So several options to be able to do that lava dive jump. And then after that is the gate glitch. The gate glitch is one of the sticking points in this category. That is a frame perfect trick. There is a running into the room setup. You can get 42 frame window sometimes, but we will very likely see both runners take a save because before the GT code and before the gate glitch, and maybe before lava dive as well, depending on what they do. It's perilous until you get there. Yeah, sorry.
2 main choke points that can end the run. And definitely gate glitching, as you say, frame perfect. You would think 5 might sound like a lot of tries. It is not. I've learned the fun way in a race setting. 100 is a lot of tries. I think at one point in Matt Brando, I spent something on the order of 100 attempts to get through a gate from right to left. So obviously they will have practiced. Most players, I think, been hitting it first or second try in this tournament so far. I haven't seen any huge life ruiners.
It is one of those things that you tend to practice the entry version of it, the one that can sometimes be a 2-frame window. And then when you don't get that one, it's sometimes less comfortable to start going for that backup one, the frame perfect one. So it can be a gotcha.
Deep breath.
But at the same time, sometimes taking that save can relax you a little bit. Like, okay, worst case, I have to reverse the save. my opponent could have the same trouble as me. That's another reason to take that save, just to make it less nerve-wracking.
Near simultaneous climbs. Good early game competitiveness here.
Yeah, very good.
And yeah, unfortunately, the one thing with Classic versus Max is even with a close save, you are still, on a 35-minute route, any time loss is bad time loss. This is the hardest category to make up a deficit just because of how short it is.
Very true. And you don't even have the option of, like, it's not like the person ahead is going to start taking safeties or something. You already have all the safeties you could ever want as soon as you put that GT code in. So
yeah, after you get all the things, it's just boss rage and finish the game.
Antune becomes a 1 round, so that RNG swing is not as significant. You really just have the baby skip. Dragon and Metroid fights are practically free.
Yep. Yeah, they're all kinds of microwaving happening.
Yep.
Down in the ocean. So you're not just free from a getting killed standpoint, but the time loss is almost, you don't have to worry about it.
But we're talking if there's a big stumble. I mean, if the race is this close, there'll be plenty of opportunities to lose or gain time.
Yeah, this is a good one so far. Eddie with that, something like a 7-second loss in series. And has made up a lot of it, but phatscott playing really well.
Yeah, and just as he makes it up, he gets a little bit trolled by these. Oh no, he made this one up too. Maybe Scott didn't get as good of drops there.
Yeah, nearly frame for frame though. Identical resources, half a door transition apart going into early supers. Oh
well, no!
And Scott, I think he just
needs to get those. Okay, all right, yeah. Not too bad.
I think he just failed to bonk the ledge or land on the ledge on the way down, so he killed both enemies. He just dropped straight through.
And that is the important thing to get the drops, at least.
Yeah,
you don't want to have to rely on them to either drop health or missiles. Well, if the two races, this is the one to have the runners be so close to the other because they're going to be taking the same route this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Entertaining so far. PRKD-like strats here, just trying to get an extra drop out of this bug if we can.
The runners are going to be looking for one. Well, actually, I don't know how if Scott needs the missile as much because Scott goes for that 4 super grade kill. I know when I go for the 2+3, I need a missile for the 2, and yeah, finding that missile drop can be a little tricky. Well, if you have a few opportunities early, and then it's slow to get it later. Basically, you really don't want to be farming Hellwave and avoid it.
Yeah, and with no charge beam, I want to say that you can still do the 4 super, but
you need to be practiced at the 4 super to be able to just pull it out for fun, which Scott is. We already saw it in the 80% race. So
yeah, I think it's you cannot freeze Kraid's arm in the down position without a charge shot.
That was a really tight save from Scott. Unfortunately, gets foul plumed for his troubles.
Oh, the Samus Eater's always hungry.
Man, how did Eddie get here with an 820 some Alpha PB's time when I can see like multiple mistakes happening on his side? What is that?
Well, it's no charge missiles and no charge beam. So
I know, but still,
that's like 14 seconds of fanfare plus some transit.
It still seems very fast, even with this category.
I mean, yes, freakishly quick. But okay, nice down back and the high moonfall from Eddie to get down red tower. Nice first moonfall from Fat Scott too, looking clean. And there's a missile farm from Fat Scott. Nicely done.
And Eddie is now down to 1 missile.
Yeah, I guess unlikely. I'm not even gonna curse it. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say.
Oh, Scott, please.
Whew.
That's not what you want to see.
No,
I mean,
never is.
For one thing, he didn't break the tube open, so he has to do that later. For another thing, if you did break the tube, the game would be that soft lock you were talking about in the first race. You would not want to see for anybody.
Terrifying.
Eddie's kind of in low health situation here. Right? He's probably going to get health bombed.
Yeah, and has to save that 1 missile. Okay, he's going to power bomb here.
Is he going to get a health drop? Oh, he did. He got bailed out.
Yeah. Yeah, Baby Kraid, no joke too, with no suits.
Well, those spikes do like 6, so you're gonna. Yeah, see, and Scott didn't get there in time. He ended up taking 2 spike hits before killing Mini Kraid.
Yeah.
And now we'll have to go back for a second Mini Kraid farm.
No.
I thought that was what was going to happen to Eddie, but did get the health drop he needed.
Okay, nice clean 2+3 for Eddie.
I'm just not used to seeing this 4 super setup here. I guess you could just set up wherever you want if you're on Scott's screen. Does get the kill.
Oh, very nice with a P shot. Good timing off the arm. And good to go. So our runners about 12 seconds apart after Kraid. Still anybody's game.
I expect both runners will go for high jump, but it'll be interesting to see if anybody wants to risk the bootless. It is a faster route. Eddie says no to bootless. You would generally get that tank there, crazy tank, if you're going to be doing bootless.
Yeah, and slightly faster, but much harder strat.
Scott also saying no. Okay. So both runners will be going to high jump. They don't have to get the tank, but it's only the fanfare that you're losing, so it's kind of worth it. It makes you don't need like a fast entry into lava dive. You can afford to take a few extra wall jumps here and there. Just don't take a hit. Actually, you could maybe even take a hit and survive, but you really don't want to.
Yeah, if you get the jump on the first attempt, I think you can.
Yeah. You can mess up the jump, fall all the way down, and as long as you didn't take a hit, you can try again.
Yes.
You don't need. So that extra tank just provides so much more leeway. It doesn't make it completely free, but it's feels a lot safer.
Yeah, I wonder how Scott's mindset is, knowing the movement advantage that Eddie will likely have, whether he's going to play more risky and go for it at any points.
Yeah,
in this route.
You know, Scott hasn't had the best start that he would have liked. You know, he definitely would. But you know, we still have to the important parts here. It doesn't matter how experienced you are at this gate; it can hold anybody up.
Chad saying Scott always plays kind of risky anyway.
He's not going to skip the save, is he? Don't skip the save. I know that would help you catch up, but man, skipping the first save is okay. So we saw Eddie skip the lava dive save, the saving for lava dive. That's somewhat common. We see Scott setting up to skip that save as well.
Yep. But yeah, the elevator save is, it's all of, 10 seconds of time, maybe 11.
I mean, you could argue that if you need that save, then you're not going to be able to win anyway. So you should just not go for it without a save. But you don't know what your opponent's. I mean, your opponent might have. It's not free for anybody. All right, Eddie's setting up for his lava dive.
Small pause wall jump and through on the first try, nice and clean.
Yep, full tank spare.
Okay, Scott with a nice normalized entry into the room. Good morph.
Scott not even on full health. Who cares? It's fine.
Nice, clean and fast. Very good.
Will Scott take the save? Thank you, Scott.
Our nerves have been saved.
All right, and now for the gate.
The gate. Can we see a 2 for 2? Oh, look at that. Blink and you'll miss it, folks.
All right, Scott going in for his gate glitch. Meanwhile, Eddie does have the code successfully entered and spacer turned off.
Okay,
three try is totally fine. All right, we should have a race here. Eddie having some fun with GT. Not a typical way to fight GT, but it can be done.
Oh, float like a butterfly GT over here. I don't think I've ever seen that guy dodge in a speed run. Okay, good work though. When all was said and done, he had no chance. And Scott doing the more conventional.
Yep. And I think he did save. I think he did make up a little bit of time on that fight.
Yeah, still about one room and a little bit apart. Eddie gets pillar spark.
Okay, yeah. So entering this room at 16:30.
Plenty of argument
as well.
Idle on this one. With screw attack, in theory, you can just run and space jump. But I see, like, I've heard it argued that it's faster, but I see so many runners still do the shine spark to get through pillars.
Gosh, I would have thought maybe the shine spark is just a hair faster, but it's really easy to bonk.
Yes, there's
with
that.
The space and screw jumps, screw attacks. So I think that's another reason why. Okay, even if it was technically 1 second slower, bonking at all is like 5 seconds less or something. Like you bonk like half into the room, you're gonna lose a whole bunch of time. So I had 15 seconds difference, although that was before Amphitheater. It looked like Scott fell down a little bit. So it might be closer to 20 seconds difference now. Pretty close still, though. You know, Eddie, we would expect to have the movement advantage, but you still got to prove it.
Yeah, Eddie entering Pirates at 17:34. Go ahead, sorry.
I mean, either he's not watching the stream and he doesn't know, and he thinks Scott might be right behind him, or he is watching the stream and he can see Scott is right behind him. So, either way, pressure's on.
Yeah, only about 21 seconds.
Clean fight from Eddie so far, though. This is looking a lot cleaner than the any percent fight earlier.
I'm wondering, I guess it was just pirate drops, which is why Eddie is 4 tanks down on health. I don't know if that'll affect him anywhere later. Nice fast Ridley, though.
I wonder if that was the GT fight.
Oh, true, yeah, that was a barn burner.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to have too much impact.
Yeah, there's 4 tanks with plasma.
There's a chance he doesn't get all the way back up to 7 tanks in Surgeon, but...
Does that come into play for stand-up glitch?
Yes. You need to get all the way back to 700 if you want to do pauseless. You can still do stand up because you can pause for your reserves, and it's somewhat easy to need to pause for your reserves anyway. And
Yeah,
Fancy got done with this fight. Looked like Eddie's was a little bit cleaner though. But he does get that speedball.
Speedball this time, yeah. Very nice.
Last race we were debating whether or not this was in the realm of a baby skip. Right now, this is in that territory, although Eddie definitely saved some time on that relief fight. We're already at... Scott might be 40 seconds behind here.
That much in Ridley, yeah. It is. I did notice it had gone to 2 or 3 rooms. Okay, Scott doing a safer setup, but also getting the speedball.
Yeah, I think this is 44 seconds or something difference right now. So that would be right on the edge of a baby skip difference, maybe a little bit more than the baby skip, but still some run left.
Yeah, and stand up will save you done the best way, what, 10 to 15, if that?
Yeah, but I mean, both runners will go for that. I'd be surprised if either one missed it with the race being close.
Yeah, so it's just a pause then that Eddie would lose if it goes pauseless versus not 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think at this point Scott's probably going to need Eddie to miss baby skip, but that's definitely possible. The skip is a little bit different with plasma. The lag is different, so sometimes that can be a little jarring. Whereas Scott had plasma for the first run through.
That looks like an early jump from Eddie. Yeah. Oh, but space jump. Duh.
That's still good backup. It's good fast. Yep, don't need the spark here. I like that strat. For those of you wondering why we're not talking about Batu and Dragon, isn't that where all the time is lost? Well, not in this game. So we're going to see here what we can do to Batu, thanks to having all of the items, including plasma. We would normally not be able to get plasma before Dragon.
Yeah, that good old 1970s technology coming into play. We are just going to cook them both from the inside out. Here we go. I know Eddie does have X-Ray selected in GT variants.
Fancy from Eddie.
Yeah, was that a microwave followed by a super for the finish?
Yes, and because Batu was almost dead but not completely cooked, he was moving fast. And that's
so
actually a time save.
Very nice.
Yes.
Just when you thought you'd seen it all, everybody.
I don't think that's easy either. I'm not sure if it's frame perfect. It might be. It's not. I don't think it's free though. It's well done.
Yeah, and definitely not in a category where I like that risk play. Like that, if you screw that up, it's pretty free to just, revert to a microwave at any point in the fight, I think, with Batoon, but he could still, go back into his hole, then stick his head out and do something slow and cost you some time. So,
and we can see the difference. See the difference there. With phatscott, Batoon had already started leaving the hole, and at that point, he's already moving at a set speed. He's not going to speed up just because he's low on health. And so, Eddie had to do that damage before Batoon started moving the hole. And there we see the Dragon fight super fast. That is a bad frame there. Not a big deal. You've got space jump. Are we 2 for 2 on full halfies here in this race?
That's what I saw, Idle. Looking good. And we'll see. Do we count a Womple jump? phatscott did get the spike suit leave-in first time. Good Womple from Eddie. phatscott setting up for his microwave.
Yep, setting up in the middle here so that when Dragon is cooked, you want Dragon to be very close to this resting spot.
Yeah, like at the low point, so there it is, straight down. No need to collect drops.
Yep. We've got a million missiles even if we were out of supers. You just need like 1 or 2 supers or whatever.
Okay, looks like good wamples from both. Eddie with some nice clean movement leaving. And okay. We could just check it at G4, but 2451 elevator for Eddie.
Yep, foosball does not count if you don't have the Bachball speed to go with it.
And good clean movement from phatscott as well. This is still a good close race.
Yep.
Fantoon RNG too, by the way, is in play.
Yep.
You can't do anything until he opens his eye.
It's only about a 10-second difference because it should be a 1 round for both runners.
Yep.
But it's still 10 seconds. Oh!
Almost.
Okay, that foosball, I'm going to count that one. Nicely
Yeah.
done. phatscott.
You love to see it.
May not have gotten all the way to the elevator. Still save time, though.
Little X-ray menuing there, everybody's favorite. I guess with Space Jump, is it standard just to do Ocean this way in GT Classic?
I think so, yeah. I think it's faster than setting up for the, like, getting the charge. It feels good too. It definitely, yeah. I don't, whether it's faster or not, it's weird.
And yeah, I guess you can't do Ocean Fly without collecting mote missiles either, which would slow you down.
You can, but like you don't want to risk it. And you'd have to go back to the left to charge the spark too.
Yeah.
So like, you definitely aren't going for Ocean Fly. You'd have to charge the spark in West Ocean. At that point, it's saving as much time. It's, yeah.
Yep.
I didn't see. Was that a mid for Eddie?
It was a mid or a fast. It was quick. No fast for phatscott, unfortunately.
Yeah, so Scott might actually be losing a few seconds here on this Fantoon, unfortunately.
As usual, the biggest troll in all of video games, Fantoon.
Yeah, Fantoon, come on, we're trying to get the race a little closer here.
Not bad, left mid, nice microwave. So he may not. If Eddie had a mid, then that would have been... Oh, chat saying Eddie had a slow, so phatscott may have actually saved some.
Maybe it's the same then, yeah. But Scott definitely had a slow. I'd believe it that Eddie has a slow. It's just fast. The fight still feels fast because you only have the 1 round.
Yeah, I blinked and it was over.
Alright, we'll see what the G4 time is here for Eddie. Oh, Scott getting this nice exit. I didn't see if Eddie got that as well. Like to see it. Okay, so it's around 28-17, 28-18 once the door was fully closed behind Eddie.
Eddie working on his low hovers for a little bit.
And we've had a couple freezes throughout this race and the last race. This should go away quickly if it's been like the other freezes. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it's going to be right around that 40-45 seconds. I think it's 40 Be a little over 45.
Yeah, 47.
Yeah. Which is a little bit more than a baby skip. And also, Scott was doing that the old style baby skip. The Stachio skip is a little bit faster. So, although Scott needs Eddie to miss it, really. But even when you miss it, you fail faster. So like, it doesn't. You might not be able to save 40 seconds on a missed skip.
Yeah, Eddie clearly still on his game in all categories, and just some unreal movement and consistency with the game going on.
Yeah, those are some really good Metroid rooms up until that third one, and even then, still moving fast. And he did get to the full health, basically. He was at full until that Metroid got him. So we'll see if he can avoid any damage here. He does. You need to be at the exact full health of 700 to be able to do the stand-up, I believe. You need
So
400 health.
You're after a hitless Mother Brain 1 then,
Yeah.
as well as everything else.
Yep, hitless Mother Brain 1 and 2. Otherwise, you got to pause, which isn't too bad. It is a time loss. I think he got that. You kind of see there was a laggier attempts than the one he did for the first race.
Yeah, ice dropping all those little beautiful particles in its wake. Not free in 1994. Okay, Eddie, dodge, dodge, dodge. Oh, and takes some damage there.
This is not... He could just... He has enough missiles. I think he could just missile all the Zebs if he wanted to. Well, I was going to say that Eddie could not do... skip the stand-up if he wanted to be safer, but... Maybe not now. That was a good 15 seconds.
phatscott with the skip.
Yep, keeping it close, but unfortunately not. We're running out of time to catch up. So unless Eddie wants to throw the stand-up for content, I think he's definitely got the lead here.
I didn't say that. No, I think at this level of play, he is going to know the pitfalls to avoid and be competent to do it safely.
Yep. And we do have X-Ray too, which does provide some backup options. I believe even if the baby gets stuck off where the Mother Brain can't hit the baby, you can still take some damage and then go pick up the baby and move it. I think that you can do that. Not something you want to risk in the race. Alright, and Eddie did already unequip Varia, so he's got the perfect health here. So that damage that Scott took ended up not making much difference because Eddie also took damage in both runners or going the pauseless. Eddie doing the standard strap of just kind of hovering in the air here, trying to get a somewhat reasonable pattern out of Mother Brain for the way her head and neck move controls how long this cutscene takes.
So you're hovering high to just keep her head up there pointing at you, or pointing at
something like that. And then when Eddie dropped down, then the head and neck drop down. And then, they'll swing back up at a good time to, not take forever. There's actually a strat called Two Cries, because Mother Brain gets in position so quickly that the baby only cries out twice, where you kind of manip the head and neck into, it looks like she's breaking her neck, but she snaps into place really quickly. It's a somewhat specific strat.
It sounds harsh, but I guess she's ending up the same way every time anyway.
Yeah.
All right, both players with a good stand-up.
Yep.
Eddie
nobody
working
getting
on
the
that short charge again.
Nobody's stuck off screen here.
Yeah, man, looking at mid-35s for both. These are very good GT Classic times.
Yep. Scott might be on the edge. Might be a low 36.
Yeah, he's right there.
But yeah, I agree. Good time.
Looks like I didn't see if
doing. Was he trying for blue bomber there?
I was thinking he was, but then it looked like maybe he just missed the charge or thought better of it. Okay, nice behemoth spark from Eddie to take him up into parlor. Simultaneous escapes in a Super Metroid race, always a pleasure, always awesome. And Eddie will take it with an official racetime.gg time of 44:42.
I think you're looking at the
No,
80%.
I'm in the wrong
race
room.
time.
I'm so sorry.
35:38.
What? Where's my tab? 35:38. I was like, I'm gonna be suave and go look at it first. Go me. GG's to Eddie. GG's to phatscott25, who will close it out here with, as you said, a low 36.
Yep, official race time of 36:14. GG, both runners. We'll see if we get interviews here. And we are joined by our winner, Eddie. GG.
Welcome, Eddie.
GG. Hi, Idol. Hi, Pirate.
GG's for both.
Not sure if Scott's joining. His comment in race time makes it seem like maybe he's not. Well.
Decided to pop in here, but I'll wait for Scott if he's gonna come in. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll give it a minute and see.
All right.
So Eddie, have you nobody's picking 100% against us yet?
I mean, I have a pretty good hundo time because I joined the tourney, so forced me to grind. I thought Scott was gonna pick it.
I thought he was too.
I think everyone thought that actually. As I was playing Matt Brando and stuff earlier today, I was wondering like, is Scott gonna pick hundo against me? And every single person was like, yes. And then Scott, we're in our first match, and Scott was saying, yeah, Max GT and hundo are my freshest categories. And I'm like, oh god. I don't remember where all the items are anymore. But yeah, I mean, I think in the end, what wins out is the fact that hundo is kind of a really long and grueling run, and he also did not want to run it. So, but yeah, I mean, my hundo PB is pretty good after that tournament. It's pretty competitive in this tournament at least. So, but
what have you been grinding lately?
I don't remember everything. So.
Eddie, how would you say your prep for this tournament went? Was there anywhere specifically you focused?
For groups, I focused on RBO and DPRK. And the reason I practice for those is because I literally don't know the route. And if you don't know the route, you die. So pretty much all my practice went to those categories. Hundo, I was just kind of hoping people wouldn't want to pick it. And my PV is good enough where, like, I think a lot of people, you know, sure, you can pick Hundo, but like maybe it's better to pick like GT Classic and hope I miss the Grit Gate or something like that. I feel like maybe that's a better play. But yeah, most of the time went to the categories I just had no idea how to play, and if I didn't know that, I was just gonna die, which was showcased in my very first match in the tournament. So, yeah, but we got.
I think. Do we have Fat Scott up now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Scott, welcome, and GG's from all of us here.
GG.
Well played.
GG, Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
good.
say,
good.
oh,
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I'd say overall, I feel 90% didn't go amazing for me. I think it was not a great run. I really got screwed by missing double chamber, the jump in double chamber, lost a bunch of health running through single chamber, and then the rest of the run was just because I lost at like 50 health or whatever it was. It really just made the rest of the run like suck up until like after Dragon. That sucks how important health saving is inside of the middle of the run, especially when you get to like Fantoon and oh yeah, Fantoon dropped like literally no health for me. I guess there's that too. So.
Yeah, we noticed that. We must have missed the double chamber fall. I don't know if Eddie was in a fight at that time or something, but we didn't think that your health was in that bad a shape, except for after Fantoon. It was like, that seems kind of low.
Yeah, Scott, was
leaving.
Did that inform like Ocean Fly and or Alpha Spark, things like that? I saw that you had to go the other way, but I didn't realize the impact to your health would be that big.
I don't normally go for Ocean Fly, so doing the 2 Spark that's what I usually do. I usually I want to have like 150 to like 170 health going in. I had like 80, so it was. I think I don't think I found 2 plant. I don't remember. I think I might have hit an extra something. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I didn't have the health I wanted, and it wasn't the best mid game as a result. But other than that, it went mostly okay. I felt like GT Classic went pretty well for me. I had a really, really good mid game segment that was like, it was nearly perfect for my standards. I don't even know how I like brought that out of nowhere, but then Fantoon screwed me by giving me a slow. That was kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You seemed like you had a little bit of a rough start on GT Classic, and Eddie built a bit of a lead. But yeah, you were keeping pace, basically from the GT code all the way to the end. I think was kind of a similar distance apart.
Yeah, I want to say just the Ridley fight and the Fantoon fight were the 2 key time losses. But other than that, you guys were on a pace.
Eddie had a really clean Ridley fight.
My Ridley fight was terrible. It was like I think it was like a 15-second time loss or something like that, which is really bad. It was and then I just had a really bad early game segment. I had to like reload mini Kraid's rune to get more supers and some other stuff like that. It was not great, but yeah, no, it was really good end game. I was pretty happy with that. I don't know. I don't have too much else to say about my run. I think it was this was a very fun set though. I've mostly been trying to just have fun with these. I wasn't really playing too much for the competitive aspect now that college is starting back up. So I was hoping whichever way it went today, I was hoping that it would just go smoothly for me. And I think it went pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, I was definitely getting a little nervous. My 80%, the early game did not go well for me. I was like,
No, that extra pirate hit was kind of costly in Rick's ship. Yeah.
Yeah, there was that attic went really poorly. I fell on the moat twice, and then Fantoon didn't give me any drops either, so I was like struggling to scrounge up a 3-round, I think. That was pretty awkward. But you know, it kind of went okay after that. I got power bombs a shame because I missed the pillar spark and I forgot that I missed it. So yeah, haven't run 80% in a while, so it's been a while. I was like, oh, forgot the bomb shred basically, which was kind of not good. But
And then
when
I
I
think
pay.
your Ridley fight too had us on the edge of the seat for a bit. You were health was fairly low coming out of there.
Yeah, that got a little bit dangerous. The whole thing went kind of, and I had an extra E-tank too, right? So everything was just a little off. I ended up grabbing the I was in a situation where he was almost dead, and then he was in a pogo phase, and he double back pogoed on me. So I took like 2 extra hits, and I was like, oh god, like what do I do here? I was like a little nervous, but I managed to come out with like 37 HP. I got the Ridley tank though, so that worked out fine. But
Yeah, I think Idle and I were saying at the time it was, hey, his health is low, but he's going to be fine. And then you started taking more hits.
yeah, it was
It's
kind
like,
of
oh
awkward.
wait.
And GT Classic, like that's the one that I've kind of been running the most because most people have been banning any percent. So then I just picked GT Classic because I don't want to run like the longer categories. So it's like relatively fresh, but at the same time, there's some nuances in the early game because you skip the extra missiles, you skip the charge, so you have some slightly different strats in like New Bridge, and you have slightly different strats. There's like 2 ways to approach it. You can farm in Red Tower, or you can skip that all and forego that so that you don't do the quick crate entry. I don't remember any of that. So I was just kind of like randomly killing cacks, and I was like, I'll just kill these things, I'll kill these things. And then I got to mini crate room, and I don't remember how to do the Kago, but I also had like 30 HP, so I was like, wait, if I get health bombed here, this could be bad. I don't really know. So I was panicking a little bit.
I thought you were going to help on there. I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, he got bailed out by that pirate giving him a big health.
Yeah. Well, I took it really carefully. I like shot the pirate with like because I only had 1 missile, so I didn't want to use the missile. So I entered the room. I just P-shot at the pirate so he wouldn't shoot me, and then I like skyball over him, and then I laid the power
dodge power bomb.
Yeah. I did it really slow, but I'm like, I don't know what to do here. Let's just be really careful. And then we did that. But once I managed to actually get to GT, I felt better. Where I actually got nervous, and this is what makes me really nervous about GT Classic is, Scott's got a really good time in GTC, right? And I know he's played a lot of GTC as well. I was wondering if he was just gonna like not take the save or something, because he wasn't really that far behind me. And I was like, were you thinking about it? Okay,
yeah,
you did
I was really thinking about it because I knew it would be like, it was such a bad early game. I almost considered doing it because it would have saved a lot of time. But I don't know. I didn't want to then want to like die or fail GG and then like throw the race. I didn't. I prefer to like finish these out. I just
exactly.
think
It's maybe theoretically it's the best way to try to win the match, but it's like kind of lame as well. If that ends up happening.
Yeah.
So I get it.
I was What really sucks about running GT Classic for me is that when I originally got my like 34 GT Classic time, I was doing it without refills, without saves or anything like that. So pretty much every single run out of when I enter Lower North Fair, I'm like plus 30 or something because I have so much extra stuff I'm doing before I go in. This one was especially bad, but it's like, instead of playing with like a 34-45, I'm playing with like a 35-20 or something, and then I have to maintain that for the rest of the run. I actually, my mid game and late game was really like, it was pretty good. The only thing that really went wrong was Torian, but other than that, it was I felt pretty good about how I was doing in GT Classic. I knew that if I put something good together, I'd at least be fairly close. So I definitely wasn't that far off. So I was happy with how I did.
You crushed me in both series as well. For someone reminded me that I got a 38 series in the second one. I'm sure the commentators had a good laugh at how bad that finish was at the end.
You were in the room for a minute there.
Yep. I was like, all right, this is a solid 45. I guess we'll take it. And then I just missed the last jump, and I didn't realize it. I jumped up like twice, but I'm off, so I can't see. And then I'm getting steamed. I'm like, oh gosh. So I have to like go to the left side of the elevator so I can see Samus and get up there. I was like, well, that's a disaster.
Dude, Scott, I think 34 seconds apart are on that order though for the 2 routes, and I think both of you were within a door transition for a lot of it, simultaneous escapes. So this was an awesome competitive race to watch. Nothing but entertainment, start to finish. Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. GG, and it was nice it's been nice to play this game again. I was so busy with so much stuff last semester, so it's just nice to be able to play this game and engage with like the tourney and the community and everything. It's just been a lot of fun, and I'm even even if I'm like knocked out here, I think it's been very very fun to play through this. I learned a lot of new categories and everything, so I really am glad I joined this tournament. It was, and you guys have been putting on a really good show with so many races being commentated and everything. So I'm just thank you guys very much for commentating the race.
Yeah, Scott, thank you. I was very happy to have you, and awesome to be a part of this. Everyone here in chat, if you haven't, give Eddie and Fat Scott a follow. Both amazing runners. And Fat Scott, yeah, solid GGs. We look forward to seeing what you've got next. And Eddie, I think, is it Glove and Pitoil? Am I remembering that correctly?
I think that's correct.
I think
From
that's
the
right.
seed? And yeah, you will advance to play the winner of that match, time to be determined.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe Glove advanced for that one, so
Glove
should be a good
advanced.
matchup.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited to play her, but I would have been excited to play either one. You know, P-Toil, funny enough, has a history of knocking me into lower brackets in tournaments. My first ever any percent tournament, which I think I was running, P-Toil knocked me into losers. I forgot exactly what happened there. I think I took like 30 safeties and then I died or something. Okay, or then I just lost. It was pretty bad, but I have a lot of history with Glove. She's my rando practice partner from back in the day, so I'm excited for that too.
All right. Well,
More to say. Yeah, this two very good races. It's fun to
yeah,
watch.
thank you,
Fun to
runners.
commentate.
Thank you both. Any parting shots, Fat Scott or Eddie?
I think I pretty much said what I wanted to say, but otherwise just GG. Thanks for the race today, Eddie. It was nice. Just getting to play for this game. It's been a week, so it's good.
Yeah, GG Scott. Fun playing you. I was nervous for the race. I'm not gonna lie. You threw me a little lifesaver by not picking Hundo there.
Yeah, no, I was ready to play Hundo. I haven't played it this entire tournament, but I keep practicing it. I played so much GT Max and Hundo, and I only ran GT Max once, and then I died at Fantoon, so it didn't go too great.
Maybe me making you pick the first game was actually like the lifesaver there. Or something. Maybe not actually. I'm not really sure, but. Yeah, I'm trying to think, in what world do you pick? Do you just decide, yeah, you know what, I do feel like playing Hundo right now? That would have been bad for me.
Yeah, it would have been bad for me to go from 100% to Hundo probably, because even in GT Classic, I kept going for KPDR strats inside of Low Norfair. I was like, oh, what the heck am I doing? And I wasted like a bunch of time for no reason. The category blend can really get me sometimes.
But yeah, Scott, I had a good time. Thank you for praising me. And commentators, thank you for doing comms. I appreciate it very much.
Hey, thank you, Eddie. Really appreciate it from both of you. I'm Pirate253. Thank you for watching. Again, like, follow, subscribe, support these runners, and we'll keep trying to produce more of this great content. Idle, over to you to close it out, my friend.
I couldn't say anything else. It was a great show. All right. Well, there will be more action. I think we got racing tomorrow. There's going to be more races for the brackets later this week, I'm sure. And we will see you next mission.
Looking forward to see you next mission.